What's up YouTube? Thanks for joining the video today. Today I'm test riding the Fatbob 114. First time on the Fatbob. So as usual, as with some of my other test rides, we'll break this down into a couple of different categories. The ergonomics being the first one, handling and performance in the second, and then aesthetics and whatnot on the third. As soon as I'm getting on this bike, it just feels ridiculously small for some reason. You know, I've been test riding the Fat Boy, the Heritage Classic and all that, but this bike just feels a little bit more cramped, which is not a bad thing for me because I'm a smaller rider at 5'8". But in terms of general ergonomics, because this is a little bit smaller, I feel like this is more of my size. This has forwards, but it doesn't quite feel as exaggerated as some of the other bikes that I've tested out. And even with the drag bars, I'm not as hunched over or leaned over as much as I thought I would be. So in terms of ergonomics, this really fits me, and I'm 5'8". Surprisingly comfortable. I'd be curious to test out, you know, how this bike does on the twisties. Yeah, so that's one area that I'm curious about. But so far, so good. You all right? It's a strong bike. It's a really fast bike. The Nightster, it's a really fast bike, yeah. Do you have it on sport mode? You have it on sport mode? Oh, okay. You got it. So a few things that I love about the Fatbob is just how accessible the rear suspension is. It has a dial on the back, so you can really set it up. You don't have to take the seat off. Kind of a nice little feature. Also the seat, you know, I was kind of feeling the seat before I got on the bike, and it's really nice and jelly. You know, it's very comfortable. Also, I really do love this digital tack, this analog / digital tack that's right in front of me. I do have to look down a little bit, but minor inconvenience. I also love the look of these drag bars. You know, drag bars, I don't know what it is. I think it accentuates the lines of the bike. You know, it looks really good. As a shorter rider, I can't stress this enough, but the Fatbob ergonomics really does suit me. It suits me really well. Hopefully we can catch up to the rest of our test ride group. Nice. Let's see how it works on the twisties. Okay, not terrible. I'm getting really distracted by this lady in front of me. I'm kind of scared for her. But yeah, on the twisties, not bad. You know, I thought they would handle a little bit better. But still, you know, as long as you kind of get used to it, I think you'll manage. But it doesn't quite lean as nicely as my Lowrider S, but that's to be expected. It does have inverted forks though, which is kind of a nice feature. I remember when the Fatbob came out with this style, like, it was considered a performance cruiser. I think some of the other Softails are kind of catching up to it, but you know, it's got the inverted forks, dual disc front brakes, very similar setup to the Lowrider S in terms of features. It's still a very performance-minded cruiser. Just to note, it does have a smaller gas tank for a Softail at 3.5 gallons, so very similar to the Street Bob. Some of the other Softails have 5 gallons, which is more preferable for me. But I will say the benefit of a smaller gas tank is that I think aesthetically it looks a lot better. All right, so with this particular Softail, with this Fatbob, the LED headlight is kind of one of the drawing features, and it's people either love it or hate it. I am on the camp of love it. I actually love just everything that's going for this Fatbob. It has this very Mad Max-esque look to it. It's a very different looking Harley, so I like that. I will say, because of the smaller gas tank and just the smaller nature of this Fatbob, it does feel like it's more flickable. It's not as bulky as some of the other Softails in the lineup. So it does feel very flickable and just very playful overall. surprisingly fun. Really fun to throw around. It's very responsive. If they put the 117 on this bike, oh my god, that would be so amazing. I feel like this bike can really dance, you know? It's very manageable, it's very flickable. I'm kind of liking that it's a smaller, somewhat of a smaller package, because it just feels very nimble on its feet. So I'm putting my thoughts together on the Fatbob, and if you're living in the city and I had to pick a softail for you, I would highly recommend this Fatbob. It's just so incredibly flickable and nimble, and it's not lazy. It's very responsive. The suspension feels spot on for me. Yeah, I don't know why, but it's just, you know, I just feel like this is a smaller bike that I can throw around really, really well. More so than my Lowrider S. And to some degree, I would say maybe even more so than the Street Bob. And these bigger tires, I think they do a pretty good job of soaking in all of the imperfections on the road. But these little bumps, completely fine. Yeah, so I'm really liking this setup. It doesn't have floorboards or anything, but I don't think it needs floorboards, because I think that would go against this nimble, quick shifting feeling. But all in all, the Fatbob, man, I like it. It's not a lazy ride by any means. I feel like it's set up for like a very spirited, you know, quick dodging, sort of in the moment kind of a bike, if that makes any sense. So I feel like this bike is set up for, you know, the quick shifting, quick maneuvers, making sudden changes, being alert, that kind of a setup. So floorboards would, you know, not be the greatest feel for that. It's interesting to me that, you know, within the Softail lineup, they all share the same frame, same engine, but each bike gets such a different feel just by changing up a few things. You know, the handlebars, the wheels, you know, the tank, even the tank size. It all makes a difference. Well, thanks for tuning into the video, guys. That was my short little demo ride of the Fatbob. Definitely enjoyed this test ride. I didn't think I would, but you know, gotta give out these bikes a chance. There's something to like about each bike. All right, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace.